Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, I just want to do a quick shout out, thank you to today's sponsor, BetterHelp, and tell you a little bit about them. So if you guys have been coming to my channel for a while, you know that I deal with a lot of chronic health issues. And unfortunately, when those health issues are things that are difficult to treat, it can also have a lot of impact on your emotional state and your mental health. Now, if you deal with anything similar, or if you're dealing with any sort of issue in your life preventing you from feeling happy or achieving your goals, a good option is to try therapy. So whether you actually have a diagnosed condition like depression and anxiety, or you just feel like you could use somebody to talk to about your issues, consider working with BetterHelp. So BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible to everyone, and they do this through helping you find a therapist online, which can be much easier and much more cost-effective than trying to find one offline. As I'm sure you guys know, if you've ever tried to do this, especially dealing with insurance and limited options in your areas. All right, so let's learn a little bit more about the sign-up process for BetterHelp and the way that they can go about helping you find a therapist to work with to meet your particular needs. Matchmaking is done after you complete a short questionnaire on their website, fill in some basic information about you, who you are personally, and then you move on to a little bit of information about your therapy history, what things that you are having difficulty with, and if there's anything in particular that you really want to focus on in your counseling. So you go through the short questionnaire, and then you'll also have an opportunity to fill in a little paragraph some specifics of what you're looking for in a counselor, so that we really have a good sense of who you need to be matched with. There'll also be a little section that gives you the rundown of everything you can expect to get and the pricing. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description of this video, or you can go to the link. It's going to be right here underneath my face. It's going to be betterhelp.com/MollyB if you'd like to get started. Clicking the link does help support the channel, but it also will give you 10% off of your first month. So BetterHelp can connect you with a therapist and see if it helps you before you commit to a long-term actual payment plan. So again, if you're interested or if you could use somebody to talk to, check out BetterHelp. Thank you guys, and let's get back to today's video. Okay, so for today's reaction, we are going to be checking out another song from The Warning. Okay, so this is More, and I believe this is a very recent single from them, whereas the other two songs that I've done reactions to for them previously were some of their older songs. So I'm curious to see like the difference over time in how they've adapted. Another thing is this seems to be an official music video, whereas the other ones that I saw, of course, were live in concert. So typically I do expect that to be a quite different watching, viewing, and even listening experience. So I'm really interested. I'm really curious to see what this is going to be like. This was special requested. So it's been a long time coming. This was special requested a while ago, but I've just had so much stuff going on between traveling to Evo, and then I got COVID again, and then I traveled to Chicago, if you guys saw on my channel, to visit NetherRealm Studios, and thank you Warner Brothers and NRS for that, and play some Mortal Kombat 1. But yeah, so I'm just finally getting back to my regular reactions routine. So I've been waiting for a while to do this, and I'm quite excited to check it out. So let's check it out together. This is The Warning, More. Here we go. Ooh. Okay, I like that panning. Definitely has a very different feel to it. Okay, here we go. Here's the harder rock part. There we go. Ah! Ooh! Color pop! Wow! Wow! Like the style of everything here is so like 90s. With the colors and the, I mean even the styles and the things they have around them. They got hula hoops and like the pants. Oh my god. The absolute 90s-ness. I did not see this coming. But I like it. I like this too, the way the camera is panning one of them at a time. Woo! Those lyrics! Oh my god, the Crocs. I really like this part, the breakdown. Woo! 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 All the faces. Okay. Wow, that was fast. I didn't expect that to be over so quickly. But okay, so that was the warning more and where to begin, because there is a lot here. So first of all, it definitely is a different style from what I heard in the other two songs of theirs that I've done reactions to so far. And of course, part of that is gotta be the difference between a very heavily produced and edited music video, which is, you know, trying to sell a specific image, and a live performance, which is trying to sell a specific image too in its own way, I suppose, but is a very different experience. But yeah, so there was different feel to it, but like once it got into the chorus and the breakdown, it seemed a little bit more in line with the heavy, harder rock that I'd heard from them previously. It definitely still was very much them. The production of this and the visuals behind it. So it starts off in like just shades of grays, blacks, and whites. And the interesting thing for me is like in the concert performances of theirs that I saw, they were wearing a lot of like whites, blacks, and you know it like very much aligning with this. Not at all like what you see when suddenly we get a flash of color pop all over the screen, and you've got these neon like yellow and purple and pinks and this bright orange, and they've got the really colorful like unicorn makeup, eyeshadow, and all sorts of stuff going on. So I don't know if this is just supposed to be like indicative of like the transition in their like style or goals overall from their previous music to their current music, or if it's just like a fun thing that they felt like doing. I don't know. But I really enjoyed it. I definitely didn't see it coming, because it was a very, you know, just focused on the three of them, and then suddenly everything went wild, and that's when you started getting the crazy different types of visuals too, with the camera panning over across all three of their faces in a row, and then other versions of them with the crazy like close-ups, the kaleidoscope stuff, all sorts of like intensive visuals that went along very well with the colors. And even so, this had a very 90s / early 2000s girl group feel to it, which obviously it seems like that's part of what they were going for, both in terms of the colors utilized, the style of their clothing that they're wearing, and even all the things that they have in the background, in their little set area. You know, there's hula hoops. They've got the little, like, is that a Teddy Ruxpin? I can't totally tell. But they've got a lot of like classic girly toys back there. So it gives a very nostalgic feel to it, and one that fits with like the overall aesthetic motif of what they're going with. So I think they did a really spectacular job of that. And if I'm thinking about it, you know, thinking back to some of those kind of like rock girl groups from those time period songs, this song does have that kind of feel to it. So it really is pretty throwback nostalgic in a lot of ways, and they did a great job with the presentation of that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would like to hear you guys' thoughts as well. What's your feelings on this particular video, on their new music, anything that you want to talk about? I would love to hear, and as always, I'm happy to hear your recommendations for future reactions as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.